Welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Monday, January 11th, 1:41 p.m. here in the Arizona desert. Bitcoin is all good and it sucks today, but it's more good than it sucks. As always, check out bitcoindailyview.com. I've got a link to a fun interview I did yesterday with Crypto Love, and it's all about the parallel economy, parallel society. It's about fun. It's about living. It's a glorious thing. And also check out the links at the top here. Are these three stories related? We'll look at that as we get to the end of this. Now, USD market, crypto versus USD. It's an absolute bloodbath today, but it's glorious. Very few things are in the green. Bitcoin down 14%, ETH down 20%. It's a glorious day in the market. Let's look at versus Bitcoin. All right, versus Bitcoin, you got a few things that are not in the red. XRP is actually in the green, and BNB, Binance token, DOT is almost 1% up. Anyway, it's just in general, unless you're on one of the few things that is doing well, like maybe XMR against Bitcoin, it's a red day in the market for sure. But note this, 20 billion, 21 billion basically in volume for Bitcoin last 24 hours. That is crazy. And as we can tell, what's that 21 billion been doing? Selling. Selling and buying. Because remember, to sell, somebody's got to buy. With that said, on Binance, this is interesting now. Check this out. Look at how this breaks out, this 20 billion. On Binance, that's 9 billion of it. Coinbase, 4.6 billion. And I have seen Coinbase the last 24 hours, kind of like since this started, or about 12 hours, I guess I should say, has definitely been a little bit flaky. I went to buy a little bit of this sweet dip a couple times on the way down, and Coinbase a couple times was not having it, so I had to go over to another place, actually Bittrex, and buy there. Bitstamp 2 billion, Kraken 1.7 billion, and everybody else is below a billion. So these little exchanges have been keeping up, but just barely. Coinbase has had a little bit of flakiness. This is a lot of volume. Longs versus short sentiment on where most of that volume is. 42% longs, 57% shorts on Binance. So let me refresh this one time here. See, I have that changes. A little slow. Come on, come on, come on. Move faster, faster, faster. We'll come back to that. Let's look at the daily chart here. Bitcoin on the daily. Well, you can see definitely we're taking a glorious dump today. That is really substantial. If we were to, let's for some fun do a fib extension on this. All right, fib on the daily. Fib retracement. Let's just start way back here where things kind of started. Let's go here, and if you can see, we're basically just coming down. We're down below the 236 fib line, and let's see if we visit that 382 at around 2700. That is possible, and the .5 is around 22.8. So, and we'll visit this again here, the blockchain whispers. So 47% longs, 52% shorts. So definitely the sentiment is short. I could adjust this a little bit. Let's pull this fib up to like here maybe, or even here. Let's see if we see, okay, if we pull the fib up to there, you can see we wicked to the .5. That would be rather interesting. And also you could even come down to here and draw this fib, and you can see where it's the .382 we wicked down to. So this seems to be working. I'm going to put it right here just for a little immediate price action on the daily, and look how that lines up. That's about a drop to the .5 fib. Let's see if we turn around from there. If we went to the 618, that'd be 26,000. Interesting that would be now, wouldn't it? These are numbers that definitely work fib-wise. Let's fire up the 3-day and see how that looks. See how it matches these fibs. Okay, if we go to the 3-day, the way this fib is put down, you can see it kind of matches a .5 wick. So let's see if we turn around from here. Note on the 3-day, for the first time in a while, the MACD has just slightly turned towards the negative. We got a white histogram bar, so that's a big deal. This 3-day chart is absolutely extreme, but of course it's being affected by the extreme dump today. Now let's look at this again. This is something I wanted to note. Watch out here. This is the daily MACD. Many do swing in and out on daily MACD crosses. This is a powerful cross. So let's see if we start correcting here. If this truly is only a wick to the .5, we can see the body pretty much did stop at the 382. And I often notice that when it comes to moving averages and even fibs, you'll get the body of a candle to hit one, then a wick down to another one. That would make logical sense. So maybe this is a nice hard stop. Get a body off the 382 at 32,006 and a wick down almost to the .5 at 29,743. So watch this though. I would put an alert in, and if you see this MACD cross, definitely, if you are not just a strictly 100% hodler, watch for a daily failure on that MACD. We might see a rocket ship to Pluto, right down to the I should say a rocket ship to hell, down to the 618, which would be 26,858. Those are some numbers to look at. Let's look at the 45-minute chart. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to here and let's look at some MACDs, okay? The 4-hour MACD, is that recovering at all? Let's see. No, and it's on the wrong side of the heartbeat here. So 4-hour MACD is crappy. Let's look at the 2-hour MACD for super immediate price action for Bitcoin. Okay, we're beginning to see the histogram close. So the 2-hour MACD at least is recovering. We'll have to see if that 4-hour follows along. I imagine it will. Do note this. I kind of like the looks of this here, this 2-hour chart, because if we do look on the 2-hour chart, which is very, it very works for Bitcoin. It does. We came down and basically we're finding support here on the 200 moving average, and that's good. This is a natural good bounce spot. I would figure that's good if we were beginning to find some traffic there. I should say some support and resistance, some bouncing there. We're basically riding that 200 moving average right on the 2-hour chart. That's good. Got a couple candles going virtually sideways, so good to go. And the MACD is beginning to correct. So in the 2-hour chart, I'm seeing something pretty positive there. I'm seeing this is a good spot to have a turnaround. Not that we have to. Hey, I can always pull out. I can always hop over there on Bybit and do a short, but I'm not really doing this to confirm any bias I might have, or I'm just looking at it to see what it's doing, and it does look like we are finding support on the 2-hour chart, on the 200 moving average, and the MACD is beginning to turn positive. So let's look at the 4-hour chart. We never even made it down to the 200 moving average in the 4-hour chart, but the MACD is definitely very dismal. So how about the 12-hour? How's the MACD look? MACD is negative on the 12-hour. Still dumping there, but of course we didn't hit the 200 moving average. And so once again, we go back here to the daily, and I just want to reiterate that. Watch this daily MACD. Put an alert in. If you do see that cross, then be wary. And also, like I say, it does look like we may have hooked up with some very logical fib lines here. How did I draw that? Right about here. Yeah. Where we bodied to the 382 at 32,725, and we wicked to the .5 at 29,116, around there almost. So be wary, be watchful. Okay, with that said, this is the 45-minute chart. We broke above. I thought we were going to maybe hang on to that 200 moving average, but we didn't. We broke below the 200 moving average in the 45-minute chart. We broke below the 314 moving average. Both put a little bit of a struggle up, especially the 314, but we are below it now, and we're kind of going sideways. Indicators don't tell me that much right now. The wave trend oscillator by Lazy Bear is way bottomed out. That's about what I'm going to get the best readout of right now when you have this kind of massive price action so quickly. The indicators kind of go out the window a little bit, but we are, because like right here you're seeing on the RSI, it's rather high. So anyway, Lazy Bear, wave trend oscillator, this is definitely something to check out. I linked to it over there at Bitcoin Daily View. It tells you a lot, and right now it does seem to be showing that we are at a spot where we could see a turn up. Let's look at the same chart on the 4-hour. All right, 4-hour, boom. You can see what kind of happened there. You see this beautiful dump. And the 4-hour, I see a little bit better of a reading here. We never made it below the 200 moving average on the 4-hour. That's really nice. The RSI is way low, ready to turn up. The KRI is way low, ready to turn up. Directional index is, of course, is in the red, and the ADX is beginning to turn up. And basically, when you have the ADX going up and the price action going down, where they're like aiming at each other, never a good sign, but we're beginning to see a nice turn up here on the 4-hour chart. Lazy Bear indicator once again shows it could be Lambo time. So Maybe we made it, maybe we dumped and we're turning around. Like I say, what I really will be watching right now for a, oh shit, I'm going to short or hop out would be across here in the daily MACD and a plummet down to these lower fib levels. With that said, not financial advice, I'm not a financial consultant or a life coach, although I am rather dapper and people do listen to me. With that said, Ethereum versus BTC. This one's rather interesting. I like this. This is a 45-minute chart. It didn't take the hardest dump during this. Directional index is in the green. ADX is where we want it. RSI is high enough. KRI is not green yet. Lazy Bear wave trend oscillator does show we are in a situation where we could turn up. With that said, we went below the 200 moving average, yes, but we're riding that 314, beginning to get some upwards momentum here with the directional index. It's very, very finicky. It doesn't go green unless something's definitely making moves. So I am liking this. And do note this rather interesting trend here. What's with that wick? I do tell you, I know this is not the best TA in the world, but wicks, especially long ones, oftentimes tend to tell you where something wants to go. So let's watch this. If we don't break below the 314 moving average here, in such a range between the 200 and the 314, that's pretty bullish. You never know. Ethereum versus BTC trade might make some action happen. I like it. All right. With that said, you know, it's a good day to be out of the market. I kind of am, other than buying dips right now. I just wasn't up to shorting this. It kind of caught me a little bit by surprise. I got even though it shouldn't have. Anyway. So I'm not shorting, I'm just buying the dip. That'll do. And, you know, I did this interview over here at Radiating Creators, my podcast. Go to radiatingcreators.com, and it's linked to over there at bitcoindailyview.com also. But this is an interview with Crypto Love, Randall over there. Great character. We talk about the powerful parallel society, which is being created right now, the parallel economy, and basically how there's something so great and amazing happening in humanity right now. Tune into that, because there's two worlds, the old 3D world and the new world, which is really, really rocking. And if you're here, you're part of the cool one. If you focus on that one more, you won't have time for the old one. Let it fall away. Cool video. We actually get to see both of us dapper fellows, and it was a really great time. So come over and watch that. It was wonderful. As always, I'm glad you're here. Peaceful, truth seeker, part of the peaceful revolution, the new parallel economy, parallel society, which is really, really rocking. It ain't fighting the old one, it's just being the new one. With that said, real quick, I wanted to cover this. I linked to this over at Bitcoin Daily View. 4 coastal U.S. buoys mysteriously go into event mode. This is really interesting. Up here on the north side of things, we have, of the west coast, we've got some buoys going into event mode. That usually means something's jacked up. It means an earthquake or the sea bottom moving a good deal. And it's an interesting thing to note, because note this article here. Photos show monster waves at Pacifica Pier. Way too many people got too close. Where they're used to having big waves this time of year, they're having ridiculously big waves, and the undertow, the current going out, has pulled some people out to their demise and to their near demise. So this is unusual. So you've got these event mode buoys. Event mode sometimes means, I'm going to use that word they don't want you to see something. Sometimes when buoys get too crazy, they just turn them off. They say they're broken or in event mode. Look what we've got going on here on the Pacific coast. Whoa, something very unusual. Now, where I'm referencing that from is an interview over at Radiating Creators that I did with Ben Davidson of Suspicious Observers. Very cool character, and I believe it's here in the interview, or we talked about it before or after the interview, but I think it's in the interview where he does talk about event mode and buoys and what that can sometimes mean, and it might just blow your damn mind. So with that said, Bitcoin Truth Seeker, I am glad you are here. I'm glad you're part of the parallel society and the parallel economy, and I will see you next time. Enjoy that interview with Crypto Love. It's a lot of fun. It'll make you feel good. It's about a powerful, 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 positive future. Please like, share, and subscribe. Even if you think you're sharing it to a lot of people, you don't think your social media depth is that deep, it really, really helps a lot. And comment on both these videos. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I'll see you again really, really soon.